Evening. Hey there. Welcome to the first installment of Tilted Crown, my new YouTube channel. This is my second go at YouTube, so we're going to do this one a little bit more structured and concise so that I can stay with it. Alright, so as I mentioned, Tilted Crown is the name. You can't see the self, but it says self-reconstruction, inner guidance, and structured growth. There is an image of my face with the crown that's tilted. A little bit of the channel logo banner is behind me. Thumbnail for the channel and YouTube banner is this as well. Like I see a wrinkle. Anyway, just wanted to do a really quick video and just give a brief introduction of what exactly the concept is behind the channel. Misalignment isn't confusion. It's what you haven't learned to name yet. You're not broken. You just haven't developed the language for what you've been experiencing. You've always been crowned. You hold value because you are, because you exist. The crown doesn't define your value. The crown doesn't dictate your worth. The crown is not something that you earn. The crown represents what's already yours. It's the alignment that ultimately matters. And so then that goes into what tilts your crown. Let me give you an analogy. Let's say you get dropped into an environment and you don't speak the language, and there are street signs and you need to cross a big street. So you begin gathering what we'll call context clues. So you begin probably trying to figure out what the signs mean, probably looking to see if there's other people that are crossing the street, and depending on instincts, you start to measure out your timing. That's kind of like what I mean by being misaligned. Alignment is, let's say you're in your home country and you're trying to cross the street and you recognize all of the signs and you recognize all of the language, and it is less of a tedious activity, so to speak. And so that's just a little bit of what the concept is behind the alignment and the misalignment. And so what I mean by the crown being tilted is that the crown is there, right? So there's this inner thing. If you're in your home country, then it flows a little bit more fluidly. But if you're in a foreign country, then there's a little bit more of a challenge that happens that gets you away from understanding and kind of thrust you in survival mode a little bit. Just as simple, just from something as simple as a task of trying to cross the street. And so that's kind of like what we're doing with this channel. We're learning how to cross the street, but within the guidelines and concepts of what's within. So I'll go back to that. If I'm in my home country and I understand the language and I see the signs, then it's easier for me to be able to cross the street. But if I'm in a foreign country and the signs are not something that I recognize, I have to depend on my context clues, and I have to depend on timing, and I have to depend on watching for other people to see how they're doing it. And that thrusts me in survival mode. And so that upsets my nervous system a little bit. And so this is kind of like what happens to us when we grow up in a misaligned environment. And so that's what we'll be doing and talking about on this channel. is how do we get ourselves to that place of self-reconstruction, inner guidance, and structured growth. Um, Self-reconstruction along the lines of I need to get across the street. Inner guidance, I understand my language and I understand how I can do this in my country, but I'm in a foreign country, I'm in foreign territory, and so I have to use my survival mode in order to draw off of the context clues in order for me to try to gain alignment so that I can get across this street. And then once I'm across the street, I've grown more. I've learned something about what it means to be out of alignment, but still connected to that thing inside of me that's in alignment. And so that's the concept behind what we'll be doing with this channel. We'll be doing it based off of 3 books. I wrote 3 books, 2 mini books, and a bigger book. The 2 mini books are about 40 pages each, and each chapter is about 2 or 3 pages. And our first book will be Energy, Divorce and Survival Mode, and Reclaiming the Authentic Self. We'll do 3 episodes. We'll take a part from the beginning, the middle, and the end of this book, and build those into 3 episodes and kind of walk through what this means a little bit. And then we'll do the same as we go over into my second mini book, which is Severed, an Erosion of Grace. Same thing, we'll go and we'll take a concept from the beginning, the middle, and the end, and we'll tie that into that whole alignment and misalignment and what that means and how you get away from it. And then we'll be closing with 3 episodes from my baby, Uncut Brilliance. Uncut does not mean untouched, it means unaltered. I put my blood, sweat, and tears in this one. These two open the floodgates for that third one to come in. And so that is the concept of Tilted Crown as a YouTube channel, and I will leave us with that as a good beginning. Thanks.